so, Brian, we knew Hyde were on a good run of form. We saw that they're very organised at the back, weren't they?
They're a good side, you know. We're obviously disappointed because we were hoping after last Saturday that we might have turned a corner when we played Radcliffe. But I think we decided probably to go 2-0 down and we could pull it back. And the funny thing about it is I thought we played our best football when they went 2-0 in, but they just sat in then and they defended well and they closed the game off. From our perspective, it's very disappointing. In fact, the manager's he's had a long time in the dressing room with the players after, because to try and iron a lot of things out, and it's always hard when you're not getting good results, but you've got to find a way, haven't you? And the main thing is for the players to keep fighting. I don't think the fans give up on them today. I think the fans were right behind them all the way. They were brilliant. And again, at the end of the game, lads are getting applauded off. And I know it's a tradition at this club, but that's why you want to be at a club like this. You can't ask for anything better than the set of people and the set of fans they've got here. And our lads have got to fight for that and actually I'm not saying they didn't fight, but they've got to give that little bit extra for the fans who come and support them every week. And I think they know that. But like I say, you can't give teams 2-star and expect to win a game. We've done it twice now, 2 Saturdays running. And, which it's difficult to get back in game when you're 2 down.
Yeah, I mean, just to give the game some context in terms of chances and all that sort of thing, we had 22 attempts on goal, but only 4 on target. Basically, we didn't really test their keeper until sort of like halfway through the second half. The Hyde, on the other hand, had 12 attempts and 8 on target. They had 2. Both their finishes were very clean finishes to the corner.
There were 2 good goals. I think those stats have been coming up last 3 or 4 games, and it's okay shooting. I could shoot if I was on pitch, but if I hit corner flag, it's not going to be very effective. And I think at the moment we've got to be more clinical with our finishing. I mean, even the balls that were bobbing around from the corners, we had a lot of pressure with maybe half a dozen corners, and nobody just actually commits and steps in. You're almost trying to push somebody to get in there and just put your foot through it. And like I say, stats can be useful. It shows we're creating, but it also shows that we're not finishing. So that's an area that we've got to look at.
Yeah, and I mean, could you put your finger on it without sort of like sort of pointing the finger at anybody, in the team? Is it just
that lack of... they're all rubbish today?
No, I mean in terms of basically lack of a cool head, maybe, or
I think sometimes in football, when it's not going your way, you are looking for people to take responsibility. I've never known a lot of players who actually don't lose a little bit of confidence when results are going. I would say at the moment confidence is quite low in the dressing room, but I also think it's time for somebody to step out there and be a hero. And I think at the moment we need somebody who's going to take a game out of the scruff of the neck and say, I've scored a winner. It doesn't matter how it goes in. I'd like to see us get our noses in front of the game, because that puts a different perspective on it. Because when you keep losing the first goal, I'd even sooner us be 0-0 and come away with a 0-0. But when you lose that first goal and you're in a bad run of form, mentally you start thinking, I've nowhere to go with this. Are we going to get back in? I thought last week against Radcliffe, that might have turned the corner for us, where we can come back in games. We've never done it this year. But I think it's all about, for me, the basic thing is confidence. And we're looking for somebody to step forward, somebody who can say, listen, look, we're capable of doing better than this. We've got a good dressing room. We've seen some good results early in the season, but lads are not putting them together now. They're not having those performances. We could probably name 4 or 5 players who have dropped off. And we have got a few more younger players around in the past, but it don't matter what age you are. You've got to step up and be counted, and we've not done well enough. Simple as.
Fundamentally, like you say, it's two goals conceded, and we're then sort of chasing.
I mean, goals change games. It's the most obvious thing in the world that if you do well in both boxes, you're always going to get good results. And possibly, we've probably had a succession of lads playing up front, but you can't always put it on whoever's playing up front. we've got lads in this team who can score from different areas. You know, look at the 3 lads behind the striker. They've all got good records goal scoring. Do you know what I mean? So forget like even saying, well, we need a striker. It's not about that. It's about everybody chipping in and getting goals. And once we start doing that and confidence starts to grow, anybody who's played football know, if you're struggling for a goal and you score one, you start believing you can score the next one as well. And I think that's where we're at. Yeah. I think lads have probably not believing that they're capable of doing what they're capable of doing, which is why we brought them here in the first place.
Yeah.
And you know as well, Tim, it's sometimes if you've not played in front of crowds like this, it can be a little bit demanding. It's all right when you're winning, but you've got to show a lot of character when you're not winning. And the thing that we've always said to the players in there, these people are behind you. They're willing you to do well. So don't worry about, not doing it. Don't worry about it because they'll get behind you. And at the moment, we probably need that bit of a support where people will actually give them a bit of time and cut them a bit of slack. And Neil's just said to the players, if you're not good enough, end of the day, we're going to have to make changes. He's not going to sit on it and say, well, this is the complete squad. Some lads will get disappointed because he will come under pressure. And when a manager comes under pressure, he's got to do something about it. And I just think, at the moment, whether lads can accept that, whether they crumble, I don't know. It depends how tough they are now, mentally tough. And I think that's where we need to be. A little bit mentally tougher. And I think then confidence might come on the back of good performances.
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, in terms of sort of like the next couple of games, it's the Phoenix Trophy, obviously a trip out to Poland, game on Monday.
Yeah.
In some ways that could be a good distraction.
I think anything, if you're getting the results, a good distraction. We thought, like I say, and then we come back to Lancaster, who historically we've not done that well against, especially away. So again, it's a challenge. Players have got to see these as opportunities and above all challenges to do well and turn the corner. And that's what we need. We need that spirit in the camp where they're going to do it.
Okay, well, they've got the opportunity on Monday. And then
thanks, Tim.
Obviously a trip away to Lancaster next Saturday.
Okay.
Thanks very much, Brian.
Cheers, Tim.
Cheers.
Thank you.